We're not going to bite, I promise.
Right.
Come on in. Thank you guys very much for being here this morning. This is just an awesome day for us. It's been a long trek. You'll hear more about that later on. My name is Howie Padilla. I'm the Director of Communications here at the Department of Public Safety and have the honor of being here today to help celebrate this process, this program, and all of these individuals behind me who have helped to make this happen. Real quickly, I'll just go through the roster of folks who are here and you'll be hearing from. First, you'll hear from our commissioner, the Department of Public Safety Commissioner, Bob Jacobson. Then you will hear from Carrie Buckles. She is in the Administration and Community Relations Director with the DPS Driver and Vehicle Services Division. You will then hear from Vina Iyer, Executive Director of the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota. Then Claudio Lioness. She works at the center. She's the center coordinator for Copala, Minnesota. Regina Olono Vidales, Immigration and Democracy Organizer for Unidos, Minnesota. And one person who can't be with us today, who simply has to be mentioned, is the Department of Public Safety's Community Affairs Director, Nicole Archibald. She has been such a key component of making this happen. And she's really bummed that she can't be here today. With that, Commissioner, why don't I turn it over to you?
Thank you, Howie, and hello, everybody. Today is a really great day and excited to be here. I'm excited to stand here with some of the dedicated champions you've seen of Driver's License for All as we prepare for its launch and look forward to continued support for all Minnesotans. Too many people have been denied the opportunity to obtain a driver's license due to documentation restrictions. We implement Driver's License for All starting next week, October 1st, removing documentation barriers to legally obtaining a standard driver's license, permit, or an ID card. This law eliminates the requirement that the applicant provide proof of legal presence in the United States. Having more licensed drivers on Minnesota roads helps improve road safety because licensed drivers must demonstrate their familiarity of driving laws by passing the knowledge and the driving exams. We fully expect this to be an immensely popular program, and it should be. It's life-changing for very many people. It increases equity by providing individuals access to legal driving and valid identification across the state, making it easier for people to do things like to get to school, get their groceries, medical appointments, even pick up their kids from daycare. The identification card provides for a government-issued identification necessary for doctor's appointments, opening a bank account, obtaining a job, or renting an apartment, things that many of us take for granted. Rest assured, today is not the end point with us saying we are done evolving. There isn't an end point when it comes to us working to improve. And as we always do, we are going to continue to examine ways in which we can make the process easier and more efficient for our customers and for our staff. With that in mind, we ask that people be patient as appointments for written tests will be in high demand. Approximately 81,000 people living in Minnesota will now become eligible for driver's licenses, and we expect the times will increase. We recommend checking our website daily for appointment availability at drive.m.gov. To get to this point hasn't come easy. It would not have been possible without the work of dedicated community members. So thank you to the community members and our partners for their hard work and continued support as we provide the best services possible for all Minnesotans. And with that, I'd like to introduce Carrie Buckles from Driver and Vehicle Services. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. My name is Carrie Buckles, and I'm the Director of Administration and Community Relations for Driver and Vehicle Services. We are extremely excited that our community partners are here with us today. At DVS, we know that the origin and success of DL for All is due to their energy, resources, and commitment to helping out to Minnesotans. DL for All begins on October 1st. We've got documents available in multiple languages to make that process easier, and we've expanded the list of approved translators to include qualified non-professionals. Please remember that the first 3 steps to getting a driver's license are studying for the written test, making an appointment to take the test using our website, drive.mn.gov, and gathering the required documents. Your feedback is important. We have been listening to our customers through community engagement sessions, conversations with DVS staff, our virtual assistant, and our community partners. We welcome customer feedback and we use it to improve our services. The best way to provide feedback is to visit drive.mn.gov, click on the Help button, select your language, and then choose Submit Feedback. I am pleased to introduce our next speaker, Vina Iyer, the Executive Director of the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota.
After 20 years of advocating alongside community, we at the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota are thrilled to be only 3 days away from the restoration of driver's licenses for all. We are so grateful to everyone who has been part of this movement and to the administration and legislature for bringing back this common sense policy. We are also so grateful to the team at the Department of Vehicle Services who during the session and after have worked tirelessly to make driver's licenses for all a reality once more. At ILCM, we are privileged to support this work in a variety of ways. We have prepared fact sheets and frequently asked questions in multiple languages. They are available at our website, ilcm.org, and there are also audio recordings of several of the fact sheets in different languages as well. We have been meeting with DVS regularly, as well as convening regular meetings of community groups to provide information and updates. If your organization would like to join these convenings, please email policy@ilcm.org. Finally, we recently held a walk-in clinic with the Hennepin County Public Defender to assist people with resolving outstanding tickets before applying for a license. Subscribe to ILCM's Facebook and Instagram accounts to be the first to know about future events. Thank you, and I'd now like to introduce Claudia Lainez from Copal.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Claudia Lainez, Copal Worker Center Coordinator. Copal envisions and pursues an inclusive Minnesota that is accessible and enjoyable for everyone. It is an honor to stand here before you on this very special occasion as we prepare for October 1st, the day that driver's license for all goes into effect. On Monday, hundreds of people across Minnesota will show up at the driver's vehicle services to take the written test. On October 2nd, new drivers will be exciting as privilege removed in 2003 and restored on March 8, 2023. Remember that reinstating access to driver's license was a huge achievement thanks to a consistent dedication of countless leaders, community members, elected officials, and organizations. Let's celebrate and enjoy this hard-fought victory. But also, we must remain vigilant to ensure that it's not removed again. Copal continues the journey with our community. First, we fought for driver's license. Then we facilitate road safety classes to hundreds of people have taken these classes in the Twin Cities, Austin, Rochester, Mankato, Winona, and a lot of them online. Third, we are preparing our worker center to be a site to becoming a written testing location. We remain committed to our communities as we navigate the implementation of this law, ensuring our communities are equipped to thrive and live in a prosperous and inclusive Minnesota is accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Once again, thank you for being here. And sí se pudo, driver's license for all. And I'm sorry, I gotta introduce Jovita, who's here from MIMS.
Kimiri Zengwetkehi. I'm too short in here. I don't know if you can hear me, but my name is Jovita Morales, and I the founder of the Minnesota Immigrant Movement and community leaders who has fought for the driver license bill in Minnesota since 2008 until this day. After fighting almost 2 decades, many Latinas and Latinos Americans in Minnesota will finally show that they have that we're gonna have a driver license to prove and everybody that we care about Minnesota. As MEAN, we have been trained, our team and support guide them in open space to take the class with us in our own language, in a level where all understand how to approach our community. And with this is studying the manual for the theoretical exam, watching videos, laughing each other, sharing story, connecting with the police department to working with us and with the community, bringing lawyers to restore our identity and to have and prove that we are better human beings in Minnesota. As MEAN and as MEAN, we are driver license for all. It's a path to learn about diversity cultures, and together we will create better families and better communities. Mejores familias y mejores comunidad, and that's our goal for MIM as a Minnesota Immigrant Movement. Gracias, Poki. And I'm going to introduce the next person, Regina.
Hello, my name is Regina Olono Vidalis. I am a leader and formerly the Metro Area Organizer for the Driver's Licenses Campaign for Unidos, Minnesota. This campaign is one that is very close to me, having been one of the affected growing up here in Minnesota. While I was in high school and in college, I worried about not being able to drive to school, go to doctor's appointments, get groceries, or even visit my family. I was constantly living in a state of fear and anxiety. I know so many people that have lived with this exact same fear longer than I have been alive. This campaign was not one that started with me. We had parents and grandparents seeing the negative effects of living without a license in Minnesota for over 20 years. However, this week, that fear and anxiety is finally put to rest. Entire families are being lifted up and transformed by this policy. In my case, me, my family, and my leaders are preparing together to apply and support each other in this process. This incredible policy will ensure Minnesotans continue to have safe roads, and it is also a testament of this administration's commitment to equity, leadership, and as the governor says, our vision for Minnesota to be the best state to raise a family, regardless of your zip code, race, or in my case, immigration status. For the past 5 months, Unidos Minnesota has deepened our shared capacity with our members to welcome driver's licenses for all, providing the right information and programming so that our community is successful at applying for a Class D driver's license. I have been working with many families since May to get everybody ready for October 1st, and I am excited to share that many of us will be going in next week to take our tests. From Mankato to Chaska, from St. Cloud to Hutchinson, Unidos Minnesota and Fe y Justicia, as the largest Latina organizing operation in the state, will continue to host workshops all over Minnesota to prepare our communities. We have free resources on our websites, including audio versions of the manual and a guide. We are fully committed to this implementation and can't wait to see everybody on the road. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. One thing I didn't expect, and I don't know why I didn't, but what I loved hearing is speaking in your native language at the end. Thank you so much. That was awesome. We're going to take a few questions. So you have met these folks, have their names. Do us a favor. Before you ask your first question, please give your name and the media organization you're with. And I guess we'll open it up to that. And then, please, if you have a specific question for any specific individual, please call them out. Otherwise, we'll go from there.
Quinn Gorham, representing a couple TV stations outside the Twin Cities. Just to get some logistics out of the way, Commissioner, maybe you could answer some of these questions. Can you guys talk a little bit about what you're expecting in terms of numbers come Monday? Are those appointments kind of materializing a little bit? Do you guys have any idea of what that's going to look like, that sort of thing?
That's a great question, and I'm going to ask Carrie Buckles. She may have some more information on that one. Carrie, do you have some more info?
Yes, thank you. The question was, do we have an idea of how many people we may expect to see come Monday? And so I actually am going to have to defer this to Jackie Eifler, who is our Driver and Vehicle Services Program Manager, and coordinating this. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline Eifler. I am a DVS Program Manager. And Monday is really going to be very much business as usual. We have all of our appointments that are filled. They open up as people will cancel them. As of right now, I do believe that every slot is full for a knowledge exam at this time for October 2nd.
My name is Adam Duxter. I work with WCCO. This question could be for any of the community advocates, folks that are working with people in the community to prepare. I would just love to know how folks that you're working with are just reacting now that we are here come this next week, and just if you're able to share any stories of people, just kind of what a difference maker this is going to be for them.
I can share a lot of the stories that we've been having classes with the community directly. How they're gonna impact it is that finally, for instance, moms as a mom, we're hearing one story that deep into it personally. Moms can drive now, and they can take the kids to the programs. They can work. They can take the kids different activities that they might ask in the past that they didn't have that time or allowed to them because they didn't know how to drive a vehicle, and they have to wait until the husband is coming from work. And now that the mom's gonna have ability to have this opportunity to drive, they can even, they was telling us, like, I'm gonna go to school right now. I'm gonna involve more in my community instead of asking for help. So this is one of the many, many other stories that not only me, but other colleagues, that they have those kind of stories similar.
I can share. Romulo from St. Cloud is one of our stronger leaders. He was leading the path representing Greater Minnesota communities at the Capitol. He's a leader with Fe Justicia, our Central Minnesota program. And not only he's excited, he's one of the first people scheduled for the local DNB to take a knowledge test, but he's also supporting other people, building that capacity and that knowledge. There's also folks that just want to get an ID. They want to be able to provide a Minnesota state ID when they come to school conferences or when they want to visit somebody in a regulated facility. And there's also another very beloved community in the state that are DACA holders whose driver's license was tied to an immigration status. And with what we know, DACA being in uncertainty at the federal level, knowing that you will be able to renew your driver's license regardless of that work permit arriving on time is releasing a lot of weight on people's shoulders. We're incredibly proud that policy and community resilience are actually providing the healing components, the healing conditions for communities to thrive. And like, I want to talk to you in 5 years to hear where people are going, like how people improve their lives with this policy. So let's make a date from now to 5 years so we can share more.
Next questions? This can be for anybody. Maybe someone with EPS would probably be best to answer, but it's been a couple of months since the legislative session ended. Has that been more than enough time to kind of prepare things and figure out how to implement this correctly? You guys wish you had more time? Kind of how did that process work?
So the question was, after the legislative session ended, have we had enough time, or has that been adequate to prepare for driver's license for all implementation? And as many of you know, the last legislative session was very busy. Record number of bills were passed. There's a lot of work for all agencies to do, including the Department of Public Safety. Many initiatives that we are working to get off the ground and implement. One of the priorities coming out of the governor's office and for the Department of Public Safety has been driver's license for all. We have invested a tremendous amount of personnel time, community time, as you can see behind us, working with our community groups and others to make sure that we are ready to go to implement driver's license for all. We may find that there's some things that we missed. You never know. It's not a perfect system, but just know that we put every effort that we possibly could. This is a priority that's represented behind us. It is so important for us to make sure that we get this going, to do it right the first time. If there's anything that we need to fix, we will certainly do that. But I'm confident that we'll be ready to go as these first driver's license exams begin. And again, we are very excited on behalf of the community, and it's our honor from the Department of Public Safety to be able to help implement this.
Question as well for DPS folks, if that's all right. I know you mentioned an 81,000 stat. When you're building a timeline in your head of how long this takes to kind of play out to where everyone has a chance to take the written tests and then take the driver's test, I mean, how long of a timeline do you picture this being in terms of getting this from start to actually implemented to where everyone who wants an ID or a driver's license, has one?
Again, the question is timeline. How long do we think it will take to get all those who are interested in driver's license or IDs to get them through that process? And that's a great question. As you know, we are continuing to serve Minnesotans right now in getting their driver's licenses and their knowledge exams. We're adding 81,000 people to that system as we're trying to hire more staff to be able to implement this. So it will take some time. I don't know that we have a good estimation of how long that will take, but just know that we're trying to staff up as quickly as we can. We're adding technology to our work as well. More cameras that are more accessible, easier to move people through quicker through that driver's license process. We're adding ability to take driver's license exams more quickly. So we're trying to enhance and make that process go more quickly. But again, anytime you add 81,000 people to a system, it's going to take us a little while. Just know that although we may not know the exact time or how quickly we're going to be able to get through this, we are going to be continually looking to improve our processes. We're going to be continually looking at how we can better serve the community that's looking for their driver's licenses, those existing and those new that are coming to our system. We know that it's a great challenge, but it's a great honor for us to be able to make sure that we implement a system that's going to be working for all. So we'll do it as quickly as we possibly can. That's a great question. Thank you.
To bounce off that,
Yeah, and this will be the last one.
just to bounce off that, can you talk a little bit about the process in making sure this is accessible across language barriers, verbally, and when the written tests and that sort of thing as well?
Do you want to take that one? Okay.
So Jackie Eifler, DVS Program Manager. So what is DVS doing in order to make this accessible to people? We have done multiple training sessions with both our examiners, our DVS people, as well as the people that are considered driver's license agents, trying to get them ready for this change. We have been constantly stressing that all this is an update to primary and secondary documents. We have increased the amount of languages that we are offering for our knowledge test, and that should go live at the end of this week. We are adding Pashto, Dari, and Ukrainian to our list of available tests, as well as pushing out all of those tests to our third-party proctors. So DVS is not the only one that gives knowledge exams. You also have driving schools that give knowledge exams. And as of today, currently they can only give a Spanish and an English test. Well, starting at, well, actually, the beginning of next month, that will all change. So people can get the test in their own language with audio. So we don't have to worry about literacy either.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.